join me in our prayer of illumination as we prepare to hear the word of God. Open our eyes, Lord, so we can see. Open our ears, so we will hear your word for us today. As we hear your word, enable us to go out into the world and proclaim your message to men and women everywhere. God has constantly tried to help humans realize the consequences of our actions. From the very beginning in the Garden of Eden, after Adam and Eve had eaten of the forbidden fruit, God confronted them and asked Adam if he had eaten of the forbidden fruit. Adam first blamed Eve and then God for what had happened. The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit from the tree, and I ate. God has tried to help us be accountable ever since. God, in his love, freed Israel from slavery in Egypt. He led them through the Red Sea. He gave them water from the rock at Horeb, bread from heaven, and quails for meat to fulfill their basic need. God gave them a basic guideline on how to be in a relationship with him and with each other in the 10 Commandments. As the ex-slaves traveled in the wilderness, they became impatient with God and with their leader Moses and questioned, "Why have you brought us out here to die? Why have you brought us to this wilderness? We were well and fine and comfortable in Egypt, but here you have brought us to die in the wilderness." Instead of delivering a commitment to their God, who had delivered them from bondage in Egypt, they asked many questions and began to blame Moses for the situation in which they found themselves in the wilderness. In the reading taken from Numbers, God sent a poisonous serpent into the camp of the Israelites, and anyone who was bitten by the snake died. It is interesting that the snake made the people realize that they had played a role in all that happened to them. They realized that they had not kept their relationship with God and with each other. They went to Moses, admitted their sins, and asked Moses to pray to God for them, as they were still not ready to be in a relationship with God for themselves. They still wanted Moses to intercede for them. Moses took the people's request to God in prayer. And what is interesting is that God did not remove the snake, but instead he gave those who had been bitten a message as to how to be healed. God instructed Moses to make an image of the poisonous serpent out of bronze, put it on a pole, place it in the center of the camp, and anyone who was bitten, let them look upon it, and they will be saved. They will not die. It is God who provides the healing. But it was the people who needed to begin to take responsibility, to take a step in faith in order to receive the healing. Work with me. God did not heal them. He said, look upon the bronze serpent and you will be healed. Right or wrong, in our own lives, we blame God for many things. Our marriage falls apart, we blame God. Our bodies grow old and feeble, we blame God. Our finances shrink, we blame God. We put on extra weight and develop health problems, we blame God. We lose a job, we blame God. We do not get the promotion we were hoping for, we blame God. The earthquakes and the hurricane winds come, we blame God. No matter your circumstance, don't matter the circumstance you are in right now, the question that must be asked, do you believe God is with you? Do you believe God has a way out of the situation you find yourself in? A way that can bring healing to everyone, could bring healing to your life. Jesus refers to this incident in Numbers, to his own death and resurrection. He calls it a shadow of the cross that is to come. As Christians, as believers in Jesus Christ, by now we should know that in all the struggles of life, in all that we are called to face, and if we are looking for salvation and looking for healing and eternal life, we have to look to Jesus Christ. Old Testament, God said, look to the bronze serpent that was lifted up. He says to us today, look to Jesus Christ who was lifted up on the cross for us. John chapter 3 verse 14 to 15. Just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him may have eternal life. If you have committed your life to following Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, are you willing to live out the commitment and trust in God no matter what happens in your life? Have we reached that faith that we can trust God? Trust God's will to lead us through all that is happening in life? We need to take the step in faith. We need to trust God with our lives as we take that step in faith. We make the commitment to follow God and to seek to do God's will in our lives, no matter what conflict arises. As we live our lives in faith and love, as we live our life in commitment to Jesus Christ, no poisonous snake that comes our way can take us away from his watchful eye. If we look for healing, we look for strength, we look for leadership, God in Christ Jesus is ready to take us through. Are you willing to commit to Jesus Christ? Are you willing to trust God to bring you through the snakes, the poisonous snakes and serpents you are facing today? Trust in Him. Be committed to Him. And there is nothing that God in Christ Jesus will not see you through. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.